expressed in blood vision, then the patient may die of dehydration since water is being taken seriously from the body, or exhaustion of muscular weakness if proper diet and daily injection of carefully measured amounts of insulin are not given. So insulin is critical in this, for this kind of disease. A carefully measured amount of insulin that will be done by the medical doctor should be given to the patient with diabetes mellitus. Then treatments, the person should avoid fatty and greasy food, then also should avoid sugar or sweet food since the blood already contains high glucose content. So you should, as much as possible, reduce intake of sugar or sweet things, and also food rich in carbohydrate. The person should rather take food that is high in protein. Then the next disease of the liver is the cirrhosis of the liver. This is as a result of the destruction of liver cells and replacement by fibrous scar tissues, and it causes the liver to become reddish yellow in color, and it is prevalent. This cirrhosis of the liver is prevalent among alcohol addicts. People that take alcohol so much are prone to having this disease. So alcohol is not good for you. Then symptoms of cirrhosis of liver can be seen in loss of appetite, nausea and vomiting. The person just gets irritated easily. Then weight loss, anemia, abdominal pain, extreme loss of energy, fluid accumulation in the legs and abdomen, that's edema, then jaundice, coma, or even death. The person might go into coma and eventually die as a result of this cirrhosis of the liver. And how to treat this or avoid it? Give up alcohol. Alcohol is, I mentioned that alcohol will lead to this disease, so give up alcohol. The person should eat food that is high in protein and vitamins, and the person should avoid intake of salt. The next organ that I'll be talking about is the mammalian skin. The skin is the outer covering of the body of the vertebrate. Then you have glands and organs being derived from the skin, such as hair. Your hair, you know, it grows on the skin. Your nails, the sweat gland, the sebaceous glands are structures derived from the human skin. And the human skin is divided into two distinct layers. We have the outer epidermis and the inner dermis. So the epidermis and the dermis. The epidermis now, it consists of three layers. First, the codified layer, the granular layer, and the Malpighian layer. So the codified layer is the outermost layer, then the middle layer is the granular layer, then the Malpighian layer is the third part. The codified layer is flattened, is hard, and consists of dead cells that protect the body from physical injury, bacterial infection, and it also acts as waterproof. So we have the codified layer. Then also the middle granular layer, that's the middle part, it replaces worn-out cells of the codified layer. So, you know, when sometimes you just discover that your skin is peeling, the outermost part is the codified layer. The granular layer is there that is next to it, so that when the codified layer is peeling off, is worn out, then the granular layer replaces the codified layer. So the granular layer becomes the codified layer, then we have another granular layer. So it happens like that. Then the Malpighian layer, which is the third layer, is the one that consists of actively dividing cells and produce new epidermis. The Malpighian layer consists of two pigments, the melanin and the keratin. The melanin is a brownish black pigment which determines the color of the skin. It also protects the body surface from ultraviolet rays of the sunlight. So melanin is responsible for determination of the skin color. You have it in people that are dark colored so much. So you have enough in them, and they protect the body surface of the skin. Then we have the other pigment, the keratin. The keratin is a proteinous substance which gives toughness and flexibility to the hair. These two pigments are found in the Mammalian layer of the epidermis of the skin. Then we have sensory receptors that are located on the epidermis, and they include the touch receptors, the heat receptors, we have cold receptors, and pain receptors, all on the skin. So you can feel pain, heat, touch, cold, whatever on the skin. By the time somebody touches you or something, maybe an insect or something, you feel it. So the touch receptor is the one that is responsible for that, and you feel it, you feel cold, you feel pain, and the rest. So these receptors make you feel all that, and it is located on the epidermis. Now to the dermis. The dermis is the true skin and is located below the epidermis. It is embedded in the dermis are connective tissues with many elastic fibers, blood capillaries, you have sense organs, you have sweat gland, sebaceous gland, you have rectal muscles, all in the dermis. When you look at the dermis layer of the skin, the diagram, you see the blood capillaries, the sense organs, you see the sweat gland, you find the sebaceous gland, the rectal muscles, all in the dermis. Then the blood vessels carry blood which bring food and carbon dioxide to the dermis and epidermal cells, as well as remove waste. You know, the carbon dioxide is to be excreted. So the blood vessels bring carbon dioxide to the dermis. It also brings food. So the carbon dioxide is excreted from the skin from the blood vessels through the dermis. Then the blood vessels also distribute waste. Sweat is part of the waste that is being distributed. Then the sensory nerve endings in the dermis detect different stimuli such as pain, pressure, cold, and heat. The sweat glands excrete sweat, which helps in the cooling down of the body. We also have the hair shaft. The hair shaft is embedded in the hair follicle from which the new hairs grow. So we have also that in the skin. When you look at your skin, some people are so hairy, so some we don't easily find it on some part of their body, but at least your head is part of your skin and you can see your hair. So you have hairs all over the body, and it's the hair shaft that is embedded in the hair follicle that new hairs grow from. So you discover that when you cut your hair, especially for those that are on low cut, especially the men or the boys, you discover that it keeps growing back. So it's this hair shaft that is embedded in the hair follicle that performs that operation. The hair has its roots or papillae from which it grows out and is supplied with digested food and some blood vessels. Opening into the follicle, you have flax-shaped sebaceous gland or oil glands that produce greasy substances called sebum to coat the hair and skin. Thereby, they keep the skin soft, lubricated, and waterproof. The coiled sweat gland opens to the outside through the sweat pore, and through this sweat pore, salt, urea, water sweat are excreted. So when you look deeply on your skin, or when you use magnifying lens and put it on your skin, you will discover that there are pores, serious ones on your skin. But you may not easily see it. On some people's skin it's obvious, on some you may not see it. So through these pores that we have on our skin, and it's all over the body, that you have salt, you have urea, you have water sweat coming out from. Sometimes maybe by accident or by deliberate intention, you taste your sweat, you discover that it's salty. So it tells you that salt is being excreted through the skin. Then near the base of each hair are the rectal muscles. They contract to make the hair stand up, and they relax to make the hair stand. For instance, maybe you are afraid or you are cold, you discover that there is something called goose pimples. You just discover that your skin is swollen up, and you can see all the hair strands standing straight. The the erector muscle is the one that has contracted in reaction to cold or to anything that irritates you, making the hair to stand up. So that is the function of the erector muscle. Now we move on to talk about the function of the skin. What functions do the skin perform? First, protection. The codified layer prevents entry of bacteria and germs into the skin. Also, it makes sure that the skin is waterproof. It prevents excess loss of water from the body. The skin also protects mechanically the inner tissues from injury. You know, except the injury is a very serious one, it's the outer layer of the skin that is first of all affected before it touches your internal parts. So the skin protects the body from mechanical injury. Maybe you accidentally scratch your body against something, it's the skin that is affected first before it touches the other part of the body. So the skin protects other parts of the body. Then melanin, the brownish black pigment, absorb ultraviolet rays